Thank y'all for tuning back into the channel. It's your boy PBK9's giving you that dog news the way I always do, fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't. You know, thank you to the ones that be subscribing, that subscribe to the channel. You know, to the ones that haven't yet, go ahead and hit that button. To the ones, thank you to the ones that be up in the comments all the time and in the chat as well. Shout out to all my folk out there. Shout out to the folk that hit the like button before they get up out of here on the last video. You know, in the video before that, and the video before that. Shout out to all my bulldogs out there. Let's get into the dog news for the day. Off top, I want to say big shouts out to Street Rossi, Liquid Lucky, Samurai Kennels, Russell Shaw, John Wick, One Bad Pick Kennels, my boy Marcel Shepard, Vernon Starr, and Ty of 107. Shout out to all the bulldogs from the east to the south to the north to the west. Let's get into it. Big shouts out to all the bulldogs. Like I always say, you know what I'm saying? All the men and all the bulldog women out there, you know. And, you know, like I always say, I don't do this channel to sell puppies. You know what I'm saying? I don't do my videos to sell puppies. You know, I can't help what the next man do, but I don't do mine to sell puppies. I sell my puppies off my videos, you know. If I want to sell anything, I sell it off my videos, you know, because, like I said before, my dog don't make me. I make the dog at the end of the day. PBK9s, you know, you know, you can give me a little bit of anything, and I know how to make it work, you know, at the end of the day. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. When it comes to the dog game, man, everybody dog, man. But what you bring good to the table, you know, what you bring good, positive to this dog game, you know what I'm saying? What you bring positive to the dog game is what you gotta ask yourself, you know, because we got some dog women out here that's bringing more to the game, to offer more to the dog game than a lot of these dog men. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I've probably been slacking on my channel, is giving the women props that they deserve when it comes to these dogs and how they handle them and just all the way around. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it now, if you look at it, and if we had women up here doing these channels, you know, they can really talk some shit. If you look at it, tell me a woman that got busted. Tell me 10 women that got busted for animal fighting in the last year in the United States. 10 women. I think the women might have the right to say that the men is fucking up the dog game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, truthfully, you got to look at it like it's all men getting screwed up. And I'm quite sure it's a 50-50 ball game. Men and women playing the game on both sides. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, it's only men that's out here getting, you know, caught up doing all the foolish stuff. So, shout out to all the dog women out there that's doing what they supposed to be doing and just minding their business and doing bulldogging and, you know, breeding the way they need to breed and doing what they got to do at the end of the day. You know, I always got to hit this subject one time, you know, on the videos. All right. We getting a lot of press when it comes, a lot of pressure from these animal folk, right? When it comes to these pit bulls. But check it out. This is what I'm starting to notice. And it's just like when they was talking about they need to have police in their communities and not police from other communities coming in, the police communities. Because for those who don't understand what that means, you know, because everybody don't understand everything. Okay, if you have a police from your community, policing that community, then you have less chances of accidents or so-called accidents and things happening. You know, when you come to the scene, instead of with your guns out ready to kill somebody, this police from the community on the scene, he done handled it and got everything situated because everybody know him and they conducting themselves a certain kind of way around him. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference when somebody from another city come in, police in the area, and your local people who know everybody in that community, police in the area. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the dogs. You got people who don't like dogs, period, sitting behind these computer desks, going on dog raids. And they don't even like dogs. It should be a qualification when you work with these places that you love dogs. You know what I'm saying? Far as investigating dog this and dog that, because you hold grudges on people. You know, you have a certain thing in your heart against dogs. You know, before you even figured out the story or what's going on, you already have a certain thing in your heart. So dog people should be policed by people who love dogs and have dogs. You know what I'm saying? They're kind. You know, if you're breaking the law, like I said, you know, it is what it is. But for people to just be sitting behind a desk, that's no different than somebody, the president, having no military experience at all. But yeah, you sending our brothers and sisters to war and die out here, you know, every day. That's not right. Every president should, if you're going to be sending people to war, you have to have qualifications. You done been in military or served in the war yourself. And that way you know what it is. You know what it is. We got these folk, like I say, just sitting behind the desk. Don't care nothing about dogs. Might be allergic to animals. But then they're going to take all your dogs. Qualifications don't match. You know what I'm saying? Qualifications don't match. You can't have somebody working at DSS that don't love kids. You know what I'm saying? Not truly love kids. You can't have that. Now, on another note, you know, after doing a little research, I really think the pit bull and the bully should be spreaded further than what their, you know, their classification should be spreaded further. The bully is a bulldog breed. The pit bull is a bulldog breed. But the thing is, the standards is just too different. You know, the standards between these two dogs are more different than the standards between German Shepherds and Belgian Malinois and Dutch Shepherds. Like, I can take all three of them dogs and pretty much almost have the same dog, but you can't take a pit bull and a bully and have the same dog. You know, the standards are different too much. You know, down to the back, the pit bull has the roach back, which is, you know, a standard for the pit bull. All right, but with the bully, that's a flaw. That's a flaw. You know, that's a flaw. So when they first start doing the breeding, I guess they had to breed that out of it and breed it the way they wanted it or whatever. But for the bully, that's a flaw. Then you got, just my opinion, you know, just from what I've seen, not from, you know, I don't know everything, but just from what I've seen, blue dogs and dogs to that, you know, classification are more human aggressive than game dogs. You know, you got a better chance when you see a blue dog run towards you that you about to get bit. You know, barking at you, you about to get bit. That game dog might bark at you while you're on the chain, but when he get off the chain, he ain't barking no more. That blue dog barking, but he gonna come get you. You know, and your blue dog might be friendly and cuddly and all that, but just for the most part, the overall, you know, blue dogs or dogs that descend from them dogs or those type of dogs are more aggressive than, you know, the average pit bull when it comes to people. I mean, outside of being like just from the bulldog breed, I mean, the dogs are really, you can't, like, I could take a Malinois and I could breed them with a German Shepherd, trying to get the same purpose in dog, and it's not gonna take away from the puppies. It's not gonna take away. I'm gonna still get some fine puppies, still high quality puppies, you know what I'm saying? Working line puppies, you know? That's why I say the breeds, those three breeds are closer together than the pit bull and the bully, because if I take a pit bull and breed it with a bully, it ain't no telling what I'm gonna get. The puppy's gonna look like. The quality gonna be low, far as who gonna want them on the game dog side, who gonna want them on the bulldog side. You know, they just gonna go to people who, you know, want some pets to sit in the house, look at some television or something like that. But when I breed that Malinois and that Shepherd together, Malinois people want it, Shepherd people want it, and people who want working dogs, they gonna want it because both dogs are bred to work. See, I guess with the bully breed, and being that they took that roach back out of it, it took the athleticism out of it. Because listen to this video I'm about to show you. You know, when they telling you the roach back is for running. Listen to this video, what I'm about to show you, where they tell you the roach back is for running. So when you deleted that roach back from that breed, it was the dead away to running. The dead away all that running and chasing down and doing this and high speed activities and all that type of stuff. Make the dog more calm, relaxed, and you know, and subtle. But check this video out.
Okay, so this, roach, it's spelled like the cockroach, R-O-A-C-H.
So this part right here on the dog, this muscle is loin. You probably know it because if you eat meat, there's pork loin. There's loin out there, and this is the same part on the pork as it is on the dog, from last rib to the rear assembly, this muscle. So roach back means slight rise over the loin.
So
and
if
you're
you look,
gonna see that.
This is called a level top line. It's straight from, if you hold him here.
I will hold him.
Okay. If you look at my hand here and my hand here.
It's level.
They're level. See? It's one level line from here to here. It's straight. This would be roached. See?
So you see a rise
Here,
over the loin.
Now you can see, if he was naturally built like this with this arch, that's called roachback. And that's considered a fault in many breeds, but there are some breeds where they are supposed to have a slight roach.
Bedlington being one of them.
Bedlington being one of them.
Dinmont being another one.
Yep.
And all your side hounds.
Yes. Whippets, greyhounds, they should have that roach. And the reason why they have that roach is because when they are running at great speeds and they're flying through the air and they tuck their legs under them, it's almost like their body folds in half so their back legs can come forward and catapult them, you know, another 6 feet.
It's for their range of motion.
Yeah, range of motion.
So pretty much, you know, most dogs that are the standard, because a lot of dogs standards, they're not supposed to have the roach back, but pretty much the ones, the standards that does supposed to have it, are supposed to be running fast. So tell me another sport that the pit bull runs fast in. A dog that breeds standards built to run, but now what is he to run after? That he got to use that much speed? Because if it was for fighting, there's no running and fighting. You know, it's hunting. Hunting. The dog was bred to do more than just that. He was bred to hunt and all kind of stuff, you know. And that's the things that, you know, people are trying to take out of the breed, take away from the breed. The breed was made to hunt, you know, hunt animals. If we can go out, what's the difference of me going out shooting a deer than me going out chasing it down with some dogs? What's the difference of me shooting the hog with a gun or shooting with a bow and arrow or shooting it with anything and going out as long as I eat it? At the end of the day, what's the difference? You know, hunting is hunting. I just don't know, you know. Just don't know when it comes to that. Hunting is hunting. And to all my people watching the video, if you want to get down in the comments, I got one for you. Give me one dog, one male or female dog that you feel like made the most impression in the dog game in the last 20 years? One dog, and leave it down in the comments for me. One dog that you feel like made the greatest impression in the dog game in the last 20 years. Next, we're gonna look at a couple great dogs from the past, and compare their pairs, the way they were bred, and to our pairs today. And some of the dogs will be more modern day dogs as well, The first dog on our list is Dog of the Year, El Titra. El Titra. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I'm gonna say El Titra today. Dog of the Year, El Titra. Now, if you look at this dog's pedigree, go all the way back to the 4th. He's got the red boy from Hunter Red and Kittens Deacon, Double Deacon dog. He's Alligator, Frisco throughout the middle, Spike, Niggerino, La Posse, Schoolboy's Big Red, and he's more Frisco at the bottom. This dog is scattered out, many great dogs in him. Many great dogs in him. And the thing is, he made Dog of the Year. Some say he was unstoppable, but look at the way he was bred. He wasn't bred tight this, tight that, tight this, tight that. It's the way the pendulum fell. Like I said before, sometimes the pendulum fall that way. And I've heard that his production level don't stand up to his level of dogs. As far as what he was doing, I heard his production not doing the same. Not saying that he haven't produced great dogs, because I know he have probably. But I've heard, his production is not standing up to what he is. And that's why it goes back to what I said before about when you got that many different bloods in your dog, you might have a grand champion. He might be a double grand champion. But when it comes in them traits and them background traits, and if you ain't got some type of pattern there or some type of something, there's no telling where them traits coming from. There's no telling where they coming from, and there's no telling what traits you're gonna get in your litters. You're liable to get any traits in your litters. When you breed to that male right there, when you breed the El Titra, when you breed to him, there's no telling what traits you're going to get from which dog, because there's so many different dogs in the background. Although he is a phenomenal dog, but you got to hope to get this, or you got to hope to get that, because of the way the pedigree is made, Now, I'm not even judging any of the dogs in the pedigree, because all of the dogs in the pedigree are great. What I'm going by is, which trait are you going to be able to say those dogs took? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the next pedigree. The next pedigree we're talking about the Croata dog. I ain't sure if I'm saying that right, but you know which dog I'm talking about. The dog that's on the screen. Now we're gonna talk about that dog. Now right here we're gonna get into something interesting. Okay, Croata, his top goes back to Tombstone and the Posse stuff. Okay, cool. As we keep going down the 4th, we seeing Hempfield Wilders, Geronimo stuff, a few Mayfield dogs. We got a little bit of Grand Champion Yellow in the Mayday, and Grand Champion Struthers Luther dog. Okay, but if you keep going down, you got Sanchez Chunky. That dog don't have no info past the 4th generation. Okay. You go down to Samuel and Fancy's Dancer. A lot of unknowns in the pedigree. If you go to Billet Canyon Brown, nothing past the 4th. And that just goes back to what I'm telling you about a lot of these dogs, man. A lot of these dogs. It ain't unknown for nothing. It ain't unknown on your pedigree, is it? Unknown mean unknown. It is what it is. If it ain't known, that means something they put up there ain't right. A pedigree was made. Somebody made a pedigree and put a dog name and didn't have no background for it. They just put the name to it. Now, whoever getting on these online pages and typing in this stuff need to at least know who the mama and daddy is so it can come in behind the dog with the rest of the information. you know, because that stuff wasn't typed up no way back then. That stuff was typed up to date. Corota is an up to date dog. You know, he's not no back in the days dog. So there shouldn't be no reason he have an unknown in his pedigree. But yet he got an unknown in it. Couple unknowns, a lot of unknowns. So you telling me out of all them unknowns that's in his pedigree, at least one or two of them unknowns ain't really unknowns? Alright now. Alright. But that's that crow. That's that crow line. It is what it is. He makes some phenomenal dogs as well. You know, but we just talking about pedigrees and need some answers. Need some answers to all them unknowns. Because you talking about overseas and now you talking about unknowns. Oh, we can't go for that. Can't go for it. Next up, we talking about a dog named Ramrod's Tramp. You know, it ain't too much to say. Pedigree speak for himself. He's directly off Jeep, bred to a red boy female. And you know, he's a phenomenal looking dog, produced great dogs, was a great dog himself. You know, but just showing the pedigrees and way dogs bred, and you know, like I say, compare them to the modern day or what you got in your yard. That maybe you can look at that ped and understand, get some understanding from some things. Now, Bull Boy Bob is our next dog up on the back. Bull Boy Bob, top side, you know, Bolio, and bottom side there's a lot of claws and Hempfield. Rascal, Dabo, a lot of great dogs in Bull Boy Bob pedigree. He looked like, to me, he was inbred, and then they moved on and bred him with other great dogs because he got some inbreeding in him, but they didn't stay that line. They moved on and bred him to other great dogs and produced, you know, get the end result, which was him. Last dog up on the day's pedigree is Vice Grips Coca-Cola. Now, Vice Grips Coca-Cola, you know, pretty much the ped speaks for himself. Pure Bolio dog. Pure Bolio dog. And, you know, when I told y'all a while ago on my video that my Bolio dogs weren't that big, mine was short. Mine kind of favored that dog right there a little bit. You know, there was two of them we had. It was short, and you know, the ears kind of stood up the way that dog, and the face kind of looked like that dog right there. But I'm not sure what the dog was off of. I don't even remember what it was off of. But we had two Bolio, pretty much. I ain't sure if it was pure Bolio or what, but I know they was heavy bred Bolio dogs back in the days, and I just don't remember what the pedigrees was to speak on it. But that dog Coca-Cola right there, that's Bolio best as it get right there. Vice Grips Coca-Cola. Check the ped out. We talking inbreeding from a great dog, Bolio. Now, if you feel like you know what a great dog at, and you do inbreeding the way they did the inbreeding on this Coca-Cola dog, the way the breeding was did to get her, then you might have, you know, you might have that sauce. But I ain't gonna keep y'all here too long. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. PBK9s give you that dog news the way I always do. Fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't. Y'all stay safe out there, stay legal out there. PBK9s, and I'm out.